which compelled me to challenge the government head-on, was discovering that school policy final straw, which compelled me to challenge the government head-on, was discovering that school policies and curriculums had been radically altered to remove almost every child safeguarding standard that we'd had. Primary school children were being subjected to erotic sexual content. Female students no longer had the right to single-sex sports teams, toilets or change rooms. And teachers, like me, were being forced to lie to parents about their children, who were secretly living as one gender at school and another gender at home. I realised then that my teaching career was over, because I simply would not ever do the things that I was being asked to do. I would never ask students to tell the class which sexual experiences they'd had and which they were willing to do. I would never tell girls to bind their breasts. I would never accuse gay students of being transphobic. I would never tell my female students that they had to tolerate a male teacher supervising their change rooms. And I was never ever going to lie to parents about what was going on with their own children at school. But I also knew that if I spoke out, I was going to be vilified and that I'd never work in a public school again. And that is exactly what happened. But so be it.
Social media news share with all the world governments and Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese urgent call for action to protect human rights. I am writing to express my deep concern for the ongoing human rights violations that are taking place in our country. As a citizen of this great nation, I am deeply saddened to see the basic rights of our fellow citizens being systematically violated. We live in a society where every human being is entitled to certain inalienable rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Sadly, these rights are being blatantly disregarded by those who wield power and influence in our society. As the leader of our nation, it is your responsibility to ensure that every citizen enjoys the protection of their basic human rights. The government must take urgent action to address the situation in a meaningful and effective manner. I urge you to take immediate steps to put an end to all forms of discrimination, including racial, gender-based, and religious discrimination. Ensure that everyone has access to justice, regardless of their social status or economic background. Protect the rights of marginalized groups, including women, children, persons with disabilities, and minorities. Empower civil society organizations to work towards promoting human rights and providing support to victims of human rights abuses. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate the urgency of the situation and appeal to you to take prompt action to protect the human rights of all citizens. I thank you for your attention to this matter and look forward to hearing from you soon. When you want to make workers safe to stop violence against each other, when they have finished work, they have to be free not to use these rules to blame each other. Rules of the work don't go against human rights in a public place. You have to put rules to protect them and their jobs. People go there to work to make their boss happy. Now you have to put rules in to protect each other and to protect the job. This is my advice I give to you, that you have to put new rules in to protect someone, not attack someone. New rules that you are only able to talk about the job only, not about personal things. At the time you finish job, people that want to talk to ecover can, and people who do not want to don't have to. By only talking about the job, not personal things, it keeps the job safe and the person safe. People are blaming people. Some politicians don't want human rights. Now you as a politician must protect people to have human rights outside society. They have human rights to have choice in what they do. Lifestyle that brings society distress. We must change this. Dear Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, in your campaign you promised that there would be freedom for all. Now I hear you want to give school students the right to practice gay behaviors. Why do you want to give them the right to practice boys with boys but not girls and boys? All students should have the right to choose their sexuality, not only have the right to be gay. Dear Prime